Hello, welcome back to our channel.
That's right. Today, Jamila and I have a video planned for you all, which are going to be 7 tips when traveling abroad.
Yeah, so we know that there's been a lot of things going on as far as travel goes, and a lot of people are scared to travel. And one of the reasons why we vlog is to inspire people to get out and travel more and go places and do things. But you have to do things safely.
Right. So these are the 7 tips that Jamila and I religiously follow as we travel, and we wanted to share them with you all today. First tip is, when traveling abroad, plan everything out.
Plan everything out. So plan everything out just means that you need to have everything set in stone. What you're gonna do, when you're gonna do it, where you're gonna do it, how are you gonna do it, like a time stamp for everything, so that you don't have any idle time, or you know where you're supposed to be at all times.
Right. So just be organized and make sure that you do some research on places and things that you want to do.
That was a good point, and I like what you just said, because the research on good places could lead you to like making sure the area is safe, where you're going has good reviews and stuff like that. Exactly.
So always look online for reviews. So for example, Jamila and I took Carnival a few weeks ago, and one of the main reasons of why we picked the excursions that we did is because we looked at the reviews thoroughly, and there were some excursions that we canceled or did not choose because it did not have a consistent good review throughout all of their reviews. So I think our deadline is like anything that's below a 4, we're not doing it.
Yeah. Okay, number 2 is to make sure you notify your banks.
That's right. So biggest thing about when people travel abroad for the first time is that they don't really realize that if you try to use your debit or credit card outside of the United States or wherever your jurisdiction is where you live, your banks may automatically block it because they're trying to protect you from scam. So I recommend calling your bank or logging on to your online banking system, because with Jamila and I, we just simply log on to our banking and we say, hey, this is the days that we're going to be out, this is where we're traveling, and this is the day we'll be returning, and then it'll give us access to use our debit cards when we're overseas. Yeah,
it's basically you're letting the bank know we're going here, we're doing this. So if you see something crazy, if you see me spending money in Africa, it's me.
That's me. Tip number 3, do not travel alone.
So what we mean by that, we don't mean like don't go places alone. Like if you want to go to Rome and no one else can afford it or no one else can go with you, go. But make sure you're not like going to certain places alone. Make sure that you travel with a group. If you're doing like excursions or you're doing like an activity or something, make sure you're not alone. Right,
because the biggest thing is when you're traveling somewhere that is unfamiliar territory, it's always best to get lost with someone that you know. You don't want to be stranded somewhere and then you don't really have anyone else who speaks your native language. You don't know who to trust. And you always want to make sure that you are safe. So bring someone with you in the event of an emergency.
Okay, so number 4 is that we advise you guys to book with reputable brands.
Exactly. Now, with reputable brands, are you referring to like excursions or hotels or
just a trusted brand that has good reviews and good ratings? Because this is not just for cruising, this could be for anywhere.
Exactly. So you don't, in other words, you don't want to go somewhere and you get ripped off for your money. You don't know what to trust. So that's why, again, when you do your research months in advance, make sure that you check out reviews to see how well this company took place or managed their activity.
Very important, because you don't want to book with somebody. It's been so many times where people book with unreputable or new brands, and they've either taken their money or they got them stranded somewhere, or even we were just looking at tickets to the Essence Festival. There have been companies that take people's money and then they get to New Orleans and they don't have a hotel.
They don't have anywhere to go.
So reputable brands with good ratings, no new companies. I wouldn't trust no new company.
Exactly. And that's tip number 5. Don't be a mega tourist when you go somewhere.
Yeah, so don't look like a tourist. Be a tourist, but don't be a tourist. So what we mean by that is, okay, when you're going places, like don't be a sore thumb. Don't look like a super tourist, where especially if you're like in a small group, or I don't know, honey, because I mean, are you gonna look like a tourist regardless?
Yeah, because you got to remember, when you go places, you're going somewhere. Of course, have fun, but don't have fun at the expense where you're making the natives of that area feel uncomfortable.
Like what?
I feel like a lot of times when people travel, they can be very obnoxious, they can be loud, they can just do things that can just make them stick out and be like, man, I really wish that these people weren't coming here to visit the area. That's how I look at it.
No.
I feel like always have fun responsibly, but don't do it at the expense where you're taking away from others.
Be chill, enjoy the area, go and sightsee, go and try new things, but be respectful, don't be rude, and you know, just be on your best behavior.
Right, you don't want to be somewhere and you're causing negative attention towards yourself.
Yeah, bringing negative energy.
Exactly.
So number 6 is that we advise you guys to use cash only.
Exactly. You want to again activate or let your banks know that you're traveling, but I recommend, and Jamila as well, to use those cards only in cases of emergency. We recommend to use cash only in times that you can. Now, of course, there's going to be times that you have to use your debit card, but when you use cash, it's a little bit more safer. You don't have to you don't have to risk the chance of scam on your credit cards or your debit cards.
So as far as with cash, I also would say that it helps you save money and stay within your budget as well. So you're not just swiping. Hey, I'm in Africa. Hey, I'm in Europe. Swipe. And then you look at your account, money gone. So if you have cash and you take out a certain amount, what do we normally? We don't have to give the amount, but we normally take out a certain amount, and we stay within those guidelines.
We do.
And there's no surprises, because we say, look, we're taking this amount of money today, and we're gonna, you know, if we see something we want, we're gonna use our cash that we have to purchase it.
Exactly. And our last tip for you all today is to make sure that you are cautious while traveling at night.
Yes. We very seldom travel at night, period. We very seldom go anywhere at night unless it's like on a strip somewhere where there's a lot of people.
A lot of lights.
But otherwise, we are very minimal with our travel at night. And if we are out at night, we make sure we know our surroundings. We make sure we're looking around to make sure we're not being followed, or I mean, just being safe.
Right. Because at the end of the day, if you are a tourist, a lot of times you are easily spotted out as a tourist. And there's a lot of people, unfortunately, who try to take advantage of tourists or try to do bad things to tourists. So if you do travel at night, be cautious. Make sure, like Jamila said, that you are careful or double checking your surroundings. And then again, that's why, again, we go back to the other point, don't travel alone. Because if you travel with someone, the bigger the group it is, more likely that you all are going to be safe and you're going to have a nice and fun night. Main goal is everyone has fun. Everyone comes back home safely.
So again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another one of our videos. This was our 7 tips for traveling abroad based on like safety. When it comes to safety. So thank you guys so much for watching. We enjoyed filming this for you guys.
That's right.
You look
good.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
That's right.
See you in the next video. Bye.
Till next time.